Hey guys, this is Mr. This is with a new YouTube channel. Then I have a couple lesson on coordinate grid geometry, which was named after René Descartes, who was a French mathematician. He was credited for develop the coordinate grid, which is one essential concept in geometry. Whatever math you are taking, you'll be exposed, will be dealing to the coordinate grid geometry. Before we even start doing the coordinate grid geometry, there are a couple of key terms that you need to know. So quadrant. So the coordinate grid will split into 4 quadrants, and each order pair, each x and y coordinate are called order pairs. The first one is the x coordinate, and the second number is a y coordinate. Order pair, that's when it's two, right? X coordinate, y coordinate. All right. On the right is the x coordinate. If it's positive, we go to the right. If it's negative, we go to the left. And the x coordinate is horizontal. It's a line, a number line that goes this way, and that's horizontal. The y coordinate is vertical, that goes this way. That's the y-axis. It's also the y-axis. If it's positive, you go up. If it's negative, you go down. So what will happen with the coordinate grid? So this is the horizontal, your x-axis, which is horizontal, the y-axis, which is vertical, when it's gonna split into 4 quadrants. All right, 4 quadrants. All right, and where those two lines meet is called the origin, and it's named by 0, 0, and it is also perpendicular. So that's something you will have to be familiar with. Right? So the x-axis is horizontal, that's the line that goes this way. The y-axis is vertical, it goes this way. Right? And where the two lines meet is the origin, or it's the coordinate is 0, 0. So when you have your number, you're counting evenly, this will be your interval. Like I said earlier, the x and the y-axis, they intersect at the origin, they meet at the origin, they will be perpendicular. All right, so those are those key terms that you need familiar as quadrant. So the two lines, the x and the y-axis, will split the coordinate plane into quadrants, and each pairs are called order pairs, and it is represented by x. The first one is your x. Either you go to the, if it's positive, you go to the right. If it's negative, you go to the left. And the y coordinate, which is vertical. Right? If it's positive, you go up, y unit. If it's negative, you go down, y unit. And remember, the origin is where the two lines intersect. So let me label this for you, then we'll be able to plot something on the coordinate grid. So, and if you have graph paper, so the graph paper will also is the perfect way to do that. It's already calibrated, and the intervals are evenly divided. So we are trying to do our best to do it manually. So now this is my the y-axis, this is vertical, x-axis horizontal, and those are our head telling you that it's continuous. You label this by your x-axis, and you label this by your y-axis. Remember that divided those into quadrant. So this is quadrant 1, and you are using Roman numeral to do that. And you go to the second one, that's quadrant 3, you go down quadrant 2, down quadrant 3, and you go back that quadrant 4. So in the first quadrant, that's when you always start at the origin. That's 0, 0. If it's positive, you move to the right unit. That's when you go to the right, it's positive. And If you are in first quadrant, the y unit going up, that will be positive. So your coordinate will be positive in the first quadrant. The x coordinate is positive, the y coordinate positive. When you go in second quadrant, on the x unit to go to the left, that's negative, and you go up, that's positive. So in second quadrant, the x coordinate is negative and the y coordinate is positive. So to go in the third quadrant, you go left, that's negative, and you go down, that's negative. So in the third quadrant, the x is negative and the y is negative. In the fourth quadrant, you have to go to the right unit, that's positive, and you go down, that's negative. It is very important to know that, right? So if you identify that in the first quadrant, both x and y are positive, so if you look at the sign, this, I know it will be in the first quadrant, because x is positive, y is positive. But 3, 2, x is 3, y is 2, I will have to go to the y 3 unit and go up 2 unit, then that will be in first quadrant. Now, if I want to plot point B, which is negative 3, 5, I will have to go left 3 unit and go up 5 unit. That's telling me that this is negative, this is positive. That's telling me second quadrant. Alright, so this, your thick mark when you count it, these are called interval. So make them as even as possible. So if you're not using graph paper, so you back them as even as possible. If you graph them, so your graph can come out very nice. Alright? Remember, those are intervals. Right? So whatever unit you use of x-axis, let the interval be the same. So sometimes you can have your x interval with a different unit than with your y interval. But the y interval have to be the same unit, the x interval have the same unit, but it can be two different units. So be aware of that. So this is the coordinate grid. So this is one important subject in geometry. So if I want to plot point 3, 2, I will have to go 3 units to the right. Out 3 units, then I go up 2 units. So that will be somewhere down there. That will be point A, then you label it 3, 2. That will be where this point located. That will be in the first quadrant. So if I want to label point B, which is negative 3, 5, I will have to go 3 units to the left and go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and negative 3, it should be somewhere down there. That point B, that will be negative 3, 5. If I want to plot this point here, which is F, negative 4, negative 3. So I know F is negative and negative, that will be in third quadrant, where both of them are negative. So I will have to go to the left 4 unit. That's my 4 unit, and go down 3 unit. And 1, 2, 3, 4 negative, and go down 3 unit. That will be negative 4, negative 3. That's why we get F.